Something is coming. You don't have enough equipment to protect yourself. You are standing at the window, staring out into the vast nothingness, wondering if you'll last the night. Your child is crying while your wife tries to comfort your innocent baby, who doesn't deserve or even comprehend the evil on its way. You and your wife look at each other, full of hopelessness, knowing you have no capacity to save them. The dreaded release of Halo Season 2 is nearly upon us, and nobody is safe.
Bet you can't stick it.
You're on.
Oh my God. I am never gonna recover from this.
How you doing?
Well, the second season of Halo is almost here, so not great. How about you, Arbiter? Oh, that good, huh? Have you ever seen a show so bad that you struggle to talk about it? Not that it hurts too much, but that there is just so much stupid you can barely keep a coherent thought? Well, maybe it also hurts too. There's so much wrong with the Halo TV series that I genuinely struggle to keep my thoughts on track. I don't have OCD, but writing down a script about this show makes me think I might have selective OCD. Initially, I wanted to launch my YouTube channel covering this TV show because of how much I like Halo and how much the show pissed me off. But I could not get a coherent script going to save my life, no matter how many times I tried. A comprehensive breakdown of this show would take a minimum of 10 hours, I think. I'm not exaggerating when I say this, but with how much time I can dedicate to working on my channel, it would probably take me about 8 months to say everything I want to say about that show. Every scene in this show needs to be discussed at length for how wrong it is, and for how much it does not make any sense. I would find myself going on huge tangents about how great the games were, or just spewing thousands of words on a page that had no through line, just trying to make it through the first episode. Now that Season 2 is almost out, I figured I should give it one last shot and talk about what they destroyed and where it could possibly lead to. To help me in this endeavor, I'll be responding to a video titled Halo Season 2 Cast and Filming Details Revealed by Thriller Focus, to assist me in keeping my thoughts on track while talking about Season 1 and the potential of a Season 2. Quick side note here, but I downloaded this video, did all the voice recording, and started editing, and when I went back to the video to download it for this video, instead of having come out a year and a half ago, it has now come out 2 weeks ago, and the name of the channel changed to Film Master, I guess to be more relevant. But I went through the whole thing again. It's the exact same video. They just deleted it, changed the channel name, and re-uploaded it. Strange. But, anyways, before I get started, I want to say that from an adaptation that bastardized its source material to just basic storytelling, I hate this show. I'm of the train of thought that if you're going to adapt something, you can make changes. But if you do, you better make damn sure what you're making is better than the original. When you have a solid story, like that told in Halo, it's probably a good idea to stick close to the source. If you were to do a faithful adaptation, the changes would mainly come from the differences in the medium. A game has to account for gameplay, along with trying to tell a story. A video game has less time to tell a story than a TV show, where a TV show can take as much time as they want to flesh out whatever characters they want. So if somebody like Fohammer or Johnson didn't have that much of a presence in the video game, you're allowed to expand upon that in the TV show and really bring some life into these characters that weren't as big in the first game. Now, in the case of The Last of Us Season 2, it would probably be wise to deviate from the source material heavily. The showrunners decided not to be faithful to Halo in this TV show. Not even a little bit. If you're making an adaptation to a video game, your job is to play those video games, and the showrunners outwardly admitted they hadn't. They also announced, shortly before the show aired, that they were going with a silver timeline and that Master Chief was taking his helmet off. A little last-second damage control, I guess? Alright, that's enough preamble. Let's kick this video off. Take it away, Thriller Focus.
Master Chief is back on set. After a fruitful first outing on the streamer, Paramount Plus confirmed that their hit action drama Halo, based on the well-known video game franchise of the same name.
So yes, the show is based on the video game of the same name, but absolutely not Halo. The writers admitted to not even playing the games before Season 1 released, and it shows. They wanted to tell their own terrible story, with a saggy, barely recognizable Halo skin. It's actually pretty insulting. You guys couldn't get your shitty space sci-fi approved, and you knew nobody would watch it, so you used the brand Halo to sell that shit. So gross. I really do hate that mentality. But go on.
Has started filming. Production is currently in progress in Iceland, with additional filming set to begin later this year in Budapest, Hungary. Keep watching our video to find out everything we know about the new season. Don't miss out. First up, a little recap on what it's about. Halo, like the series it's based on, follows the dispute between humanity and the alien faction known as the Covenant.
So if you don't know anything about the games and only had this show to go off of, you wouldn't know the Covenant is a threat. By show standards, this isn't an all-out war with an alien faction for the survival of humankind, but rather a minor inconvenience. Something every Halo game nailed was the tone. We are always barely scraping by with our occasional big victory. The Covenant are an existential threat to humanity, and anytime they show up, it is taken very seriously. In the game, Halo Reach, the planet Reach is attacked by the Covenant, and Noble Team develops a plan to blow up the Covenant supercarrier.
Yeah. Bad news is, time is fried. I'm gonna have to fire it manually.
That's a one-way trip.
We all make it sooner or later. Better get going, Six. They're gonna need you down there. Listen, Reach has been good to me. The time has come to return the favor. Don't deny me this. Tell him to make it count.
Man, that still gets me every time. The tragedy here is George sacrifices himself believing he just saved Reach, only to have over 300 ships arrive through slipspace moments later.
Slipspace rupture detected.
Gamma station control, reading multiple pings below the orbital defense grid.
Slipspace rupture detected.
Yeah, we're picking up anomalies too. Are you reading it?
Slipspace rupture
Multiple
detected.
Covenant signatures.
Slipspace
Does anyone
rupture
have a
detected.
They're everywhere.
Slipspace
Yeah,
rupture
must be
detected.
the whole damn Covenant fleet.
Slipspace rupture detected.
The mission changes from beating the Covenant to escaping with as many civilians, military, and as much data and equipment as possible. There's a scene when you get on a Falcon and are flying through New Alexandria, not Reach City because that's fucking stupid. You're just watching hopelessly as Marines and civilians alike are getting absolutely mowed down by Covenant forces. Everything is falling apart.
Oh my god.
Mayday! Mayday!
6 Echo 2, can you maintain altitude?
Negative! We're going down!
I can't watch this.
Fox Actual, should we send search and rescue birds?
Negative, dispatch. No point.
Outside of Spartans and Mac guns, our only advantage is that the Covenant don't know where Earth is. Every human-populated planet they find gets absolutely decimated. In this show, you barely even understand the threat of the aliens. You'd be forgiven for forgetting there's even a war going on with an alien race hell-bent on wiping out humanity. The opening scene with the elites was so broken on so many levels. We find out that the two parts of the Keystones are the most important artifacts to the Covenant outside of the Halo rings. Yet, we only see a phantom-sized unit of elites retrieving the damn thing. Hey, Space Allens, Where are the corvettes? Where are your supercarriers? If this artifact is so important to them, and there are humans on this planet, they would have sent an entire fleet to retrieve that thing, kill everyone in their way, and glass the whole planet, exactly like they did on Reach.
In the 26th century, it revolves around the franchise's mascot, Master Chief, played by Pablo Schreiber, as he leads the Spartans, a gang of super soldiers created by Dr. Halsey, played by Natasha McElhenney, to counter an alien threat.
So you already fucked up again. They don't show the timeline well in this show, but in the games and books, the Spartans were created to counter the rebel insurrection, specifically to target and eliminate insurrectionist leaders. It only happened that the Covenant attacked right after the Spartans were created, and there was a huge discussion about the morality of the Spartan program that the games are extremely nuanced on. The show seems completely allergic to it, though. So because I find this whole conversation engaging as hell, let's talk about it for a little bit. In the games and books, the Spartans were taken as children and essentially experimented on to make the perfect soldier. The augmentations were very brutal, with a low life expectancy. Many died. The ones that didn't became the strongest and fastest warriors in existence. Humanity is pretty fortunate that the military did these terrible things when they did, because without the Spartans, humanity would have been fucked with the coming conflict. The Spartans are completely aware of what happened to them and accept it as a greater good for the survival of their species. There is a lot to be said there and a lot of questions to pose. I find what they did in the games and books far more interesting than the ideas that they tried and failed to portray in the TV show. Without the Covenant arriving, surely the military would have persecuted Dr. Halsey as a war criminal. But with the Spartans being so crucial in the fight, it's all brushed to the side to be dealt with at a later date. This show doesn't do this at all. The show basically has their Spartans' minds wiped and gives them these dumb-ass emotional inhibitors located at the bottom of the spine rather than near the brain where you would think, so we can see John Halo's juicy cheeks. I guess you can just pop that shit out with a knife too. Indoctrination isn't a pill. There is a lot more to be said about this entire situation from the game's perspective. The problem with trying to talk about this from the show's perspective is you spend the entire time trying to understand the mechanics of how it works. So you insert a pill in the base of the spine, rather than near the brain, that inhibits all of the emotions from the Spartan, even taking away their taste, which tasting things is something that we can do to help us stay alive, but that's besides the point. They have this whole through line about how John Halo's life was stolen from him and how removing the pellet was very important because it gave him his life back. Yet, removing the pellet makes him completely erratic. He's not trustworthy in battle. He's an absolute loose cannon. He's screaming. He's emotional. He just fundamentally becomes a worse person when the pellet is removed. But the show's perspective is that he's a better person. It's a conflict of what you're showing me and what you're trying to tell me. This is just one of 1,000 instances where the writers decided to change something from the games, but had no idea what they'd done. Probably should have just stuck to the source material.
Season 1 went far beyond the game's world, bringing a number of new enhanced soldiers to fight along with John 117 for the sake of the UNSC.
Say you're not a Halo fan without saying you're not a Halo fan. Who says John 117? It's John 117, you nuncy. This is also a blatant lie. They didn't go far beyond shit in the game. I'll give you some grace because I'm getting the feeling you have no idea, but there were a shit ton of Spartans in the games. They were always alluded to in the trilogy, and especially in the books, but were talked about being all but wiped out by the Covenant. If you played Halo Reach, you know of at least 7 Spartans, one having died in battle before the game, and you play as his replacement, Noble 6, who also is the only Spartan besides Master Chief to earn the rating of hyper lethal. That's some extra nerd shit for you. Then you obviously have Noble 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's an entirely different team of Spartans right there, bro. Also, at the end of the game, when you're making your final stand, you find dozens of slain Spartans on the battlefield. There are a lot, and many died in Reach. The show isn't doing anything new by giving Chief a new team, so stop lying, my dude. Why you always lying?
Overall, the show weaves together more intricate Halo universe storylines with large-scale action in the war for humanity.
No, they don't. The action scenes were sparse and shitty. Why the hell do you have a Master Chief losing his shit, punching a dead elite over and over again? At this point in the story, I was already annoyed and not liking Master Chief, so when you showed me this, I was just feeling bad for the elite. And by weaving together more intricate storylines, do you mean they took bits and pieces of what was made far better decades ago and absolutely fucked it up? Oh, if that's what you mean, then I agree with you. No, but seriously, there was nothing intricate about this show, and to say so is an affront to storytelling and basic common sense.
The heavily hyped Halo TV series premiered on Paramount Plus and faced a lot of mixed reviews. During the first season's 9 episodes,
I'm going to leave this photo up for a second. You have Master Chief standing there in his pajamas. Yes, I know it's his tech suit, holding the chin of a Covenant spy who is human, staring at her longingly. So don't act surprised that this got mixed reviews. Personally, I think the reviews were way too high. 52% on Rotten Tomatoes is ridiculously too high. I don't know what anybody would see in this show.
audiences got to see Schreiber's rendition of Master Chief, also known as John 117.
Stop saying that.
Halo proved to be somewhat divisive due to the amount of time Master Chief had been shown without his helmet on, as well as other creative decisions made for the plot.
I mean, it is incredibly fucking annoying that they have no faith in the viewer to get connected to a helmeted protagonist. I guess Judge Dredd wasn't a thing. I guess Master Chief from the video games wasn't a thing. I guess Darth Vader wasn't a thing. It blows my fucking mind that they have the audacity to say, we can't have a helmeted protagonist because we need people to understand how they feel. Like we didn't know through certain body language or the way he moved his helmet around how Darth Vader was feeling. I'll just never get this way of thinking. I think they're just coping. Master Chief is a man of action. He doesn't speak much, but when he does, it is because he either needs to ask a very important question, or he's giving his perspective on a situation. Yes, he was made to be a potentially blank slate for the player to superimpose themselves into, the character, while exploring this massive universe. But that doesn't mean he has no characteristics. In the first mission of Combat Evolved, he places his hand on a scared Marine's shoulder to offer what little comfort he can to the man. He didn't need to do that, but he genuinely cares about these Marines, and knows they look up to him as a symbol or idolize him as an incredible fighting machine.
Folks need heroes, Chief, to give them hope. So smile, would ya? Well, we still got something to smile about.
There are little beats throughout every game that offers more insight into who Master Chief is. You can sell a lot of emotion with a helmeted character that doesn't talk much. I would say the two greatest examples are between Master Chief and Cortana. If you've played the games, you know exactly what scenes I'm talking about. Of course, being the scene where you leave Cortana at High Charity at the end of Halo 2, and the scene in Halo 3 where you find her. For an action game, they really did tug at the heartstrings with a lot of the stuff between Master Chief and Cortana. These showrunners clearly didn't give a shit or even notice any of that.
The show's controversial nature did not stop it from becoming a success, which was great news for Paramount Plus, which had already renewed the video game show for another exciting season before the debut.
I wonder why it was a success financially. I'm sure it had nothing to do with the fact that Paramount aired the first episode for free on YouTube to bait people in with their subscriptions. I'm sure they didn't sit around a table talking about what an abomination they had made, intentionally front-loaded the action in the show, and got a nice chunk of change for a month-long subscription even if people didn't finish the rest of the season. No, that would never have happened. Oh wait, it did. Speaking of that happening, I'm sure it had nothing to do with all of the promotional material having Master Chief fully helmeted, misleading everybody for months that their shitty TV show was going to resemble anything that had to do with Halo. Also, let's not bring up the fact that most TV show productions get approved for a second season before they even start the first season. Velma, which is probably the worst thing that's ever been made, was approved for 2 seasons before anybody even clicked on the first episode. This isn't new, this isn't rare. Halo was a massive IP. Halo has a massive built-in fan base from decades ago. We're all craving some really good Halo content, whether it be movie, TV show, you name it. Of course, they were going to go ahead and bet that Halo would make enough money for them to launch a second season. I don't think the people funding this realized that they were going to make such an abortion of a TV show.
Following the departure time of Kyle Killen and Stephen Kane during the first season's production, David Weiner has become the new showrunner for Halo Season 2.
So I looked up David Weiner, and it looks like he doesn't have much experience. He produced Flesh and Bone, which I've never heard of, and Fear the Walking Dead, which I fell off of after the first episode or episode 2. Yeah, good fucking luck, bro. You have no idea what you just signed up for. Short of retconning the entire first season, there is no way Season 2 can be good and continue the continuity of the first season. You can build a beautiful house, but if you build it on top of a sinkhole, it's going to fall into a massive pile of shit. Season 2 could be absolutely amazing, 10 out of 10. It's still built on shit. We have John Halo's plot thread that basically has him dead so Cortana can take over, but the trailer shows John walking around all fine and dandy, helmet off, of course, so they'll probably squash that in episode 1. We have Quan's storyline, which nobody gave a shit about, and it has to do with some magical bullshit because she's a protector, and I really hate magic being in the Halo universe. We have Saren, who is probably the best character in the show, doesn't say much, and he's an absolute buffoon. I really think the actor is the only reason I still kind of like the character. I love seeing that guy and stuff. We have Dr. Halsey, who is an outright villain in this universe, which I absolutely hate and doesn't make a lick of sense. I really like Dr. Halsey in the books and the games, and they made her just an absolute bitch in this show. The Keys duo are forgettable compared to their video game counterparts, and biggest of all, they all already know about Halo. Finding Halo was supposed to be an accident when escaping Reach. It's just this weird construct floating in space that they knew nothing about, but are forced to land on when the Pillar of Autumn gets overrun with Covenant cruisers. In the show, they say, find the Halo, win the war, or some shit. They've squashed all of the potential in Season 1. So like I said, they'll have to fix a lot to course correct here. Have Chief wake up from a bad dream or some shit, and start over.
Weiner is now responsible for picking up the story threads left hanging after the Halo Season 1 finale, which left the show poised to explore major events such as the Halo Rings discovery. As a result, there's been a lot of curiosity about where Halo Season 2 will go.
Yeah, only in the sense that we're wondering where the fuck they can go from here. It isn't good speculation, my friend.
Now, we're ready for Season 2.
No, we're not.
Production on Halo Season 2 has officially begun, with Paramount Plus confirming that shooting began in Iceland earlier this month. Even a wholesome picture of Vanek 134 actor Bentley Kalu, Kai 125 actor.
While we have Kai on screen, I want to take a second to appreciate Kat, Noble 2, for having short hair. Because when wearing an airtight helmet like that, it makes sense that long hair wouldn't work. Does Kai have a special hair pocket in her helmet? Well, in this universe, they would probably do something that stupid.
Kate Kennedy, Schreiber, and Riz 028 actress Natasha Kulzak is included in the announcement. The new season's image features Master Chief and his Spartan squad members as they begin preparing to film the season we're all waiting for.
Stop saying that. It's morbid curiosity at best.
In addition, the Vampire Diaries' Joseph Morgan and Christina Rodlow have joined the ensemble as James Ackerson and Talia Perez, respectively. Ackerson is a tremendous intelligence operative who has spent his entire career rising through the ranks of the United Nations Security Council's top-secret Office of Naval Intelligence.
There is no intelligence in the UNSC. Halo show, of course. They're smart as fuck in the games. They legitimately have Kai and Guy translate the Covenant language in a dumbass scene where they discover the words sacred ring. Like, actually fuck off. You're telling me that they don't have teams of scientists deciphering this shit? No, I guess the UNSC only has 2 scientists, Dr. Halsey and Daughter Keys. But no, Kai is just like, oh yeah, we picked up on some words here and there while we've been killing the Covenant. Who'da thunk it? You think that that would be in their reports. I believe they mentioned something about after-action reports in this show. So why the hell is Kai just now saying, this weapon was called which means needler? I don't know. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. Trying to make this show make sense in your brain hurts. It's why it's taken me so long to get around to talking about it.
and Perez is a corporal, specializing in linguistics for a UNSC Marine Corps communications unit and a comparatively recent recruit who has yet to see any real fighting. What more do we know about the new season? Don't go anywhere, there's still a lot left to unpack.
Your video is only 8 minutes long. Why do you keep saying that? Do you really not have that much faith in me? I can do this, man. I've watched videos way longer than this.
It's not surprising that Halo Season 2 began filming so shortly after the first season ended. Schreiber previously suggested that the second season would begin filming in the summer. Even so, Iceland wasn't one of the filming locations for the show's first season, which could indicate that Master Chief and the Spartans will be exploring new territory next.
So that's useless. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Halo may be aiming to delve deeper into the fantasy realm of the sci-fi universe.
Oh my god, please stop. It's a space science fiction that's supposed to be hyper-military focused. Stop with the magic shit.
Due to the divisive nature of the first season, the producers of the show earlier noted that they were closely monitoring audience feedback to decide how to improve Halo Season 2.
I highly doubt that. The showrunners behind Season 1 seem to have outright contempt towards Halo the games and its fanbase. They don't deserve an ounce of leniency. I'll believe that shit when I see it.
So, when will it be released? Now that Halo Season 2 has begun filming and reunited Master Chief and the Spartans, fans can begin to anticipate when the series will return to Paramount+. Season 1 filming was heavily laden with complications, such as COVID-19 shutdowns, but Season 2 should be a much smoother ride all around. That would really help the new season arrive on Paramount+ sometime during late 2023, assuming there are months of shooting ahead. With new filming sites and cast members on the way, Halo Season 2 may be capable of redeeming the series in the eyes of longtime fans.
They would need to work their asses off for that to happen. Like I said, short of retconning the whole first season, it's going to take a lot of fucking work to gain any sort of good grace from the Halo fans. You know what, viewer? If you want a good Halo story, I urge you to go play Halo 1 through 3 and Reach. Throw ODST in the mix at the end. It's a really nice little spin-off story there. You'll be far more rewarded for your time with those than this pile of steaming garbage. That's exactly what I did when this show was done. I hadn't played the games in a little while, so I went back and played all of them, and it was great.
So basically, an exact release date for Halo Season 2 is difficult to predict because it will depend greatly on production, and Season 1's was so disrupted that it doesn't really establish a precedent. If Paramount Plus is pleased with the slot, Halo Season 2 will most likely air sometime next year, possibly around the same time. Hopefully, there will be updates once production begins. Next up is more on the plot of Season 2.
Alright, here we go. The stuff I came to this video for. Let's see what they have to say about the plot for Season 2.
Many viewers were taken aback by the fact that Halo Season 1 clearly placed itself as a prelude to the main event instead of the main event itself.
So amongst the thousands of problems in that show, a prelude wasn't the issue. The problem was the execution of said prelude. Halo Reach was a far better story. So much so, it sours my mouth to even compare the two. That prelude could have been Reach the game, retold in TV format. Fuck, man, that would have been so amazing. Reach's soundtrack? Chef's kiss. No, not that kiss. Speaking of music, Martin O'Donnell made probably my favorite soundtracks in existence. And to this day, I'll throw it on a lot of the times that I'm working on these videos. One day, my 2-year-old heard the music, and his face lit up. Now, the lullaby playlist I have for his bedtime is comprised mostly of songs from Halo. Big thanks to you, Martin. Your music is incredible. And yet another element the Halo TV show downright squandered. The only little bit of music I remember from that show was the little tease when they said Halo. Oh, fuck you guys. You dropped the fucking ball everywhere you could. To fuck up this bad, it almost seems intentional.
It established the quest to uncover the Halo Ring, an ancient artifact that has the potential to wipe out all life in the galaxy, but it only introduced the Halo Ring in a series of visions.
Yeah, there shouldn't have been any visions about Halo leading up to it. I hate that they took Halo into this magic stuff and made Chief a super chosen one. 1 in 500 million to be exact, because he's a blessed one now. What am I? Ah, yes, that's exactly how I like to see my Chief. Pretty lucky his parents settled down on planet Eridanus, whatever, putting him right next to the second part of the Keystone. Not contrived at all by the writers.
Furthermore, the show drew as heavily on the Halo franchise's broader legends as it did on the games themselves, leading to an insurrectionist B-plot on the planet Madrigal
that literally nobody cares about. Quan is a useless and retarded character. Yes, she is insanely stupid. The UNSC want her to talk about how the Spartans saved her from the aliens, and she threatens to besmirch them. Lady, you just witnessed a bunch of aliens wipe out your whole camp. Is your little rebellion more important than the fate of the entire galaxy? Your rebellion is part of humanity, but whatever. Also, John Halo abandoned everything he knew to save this one girl, and he just dumps her on an asteroid place and doesn't care about her at all. They never link up again after this. And when John Halo goes back to Reach, nobody cares about what he did. The writers need a drama and didn't give a shit how to generate it.
as well as an arc that is yet to be sewed into the main story. Season 2 of Halo will undoubtedly continue to build up to the finding of the Halo ring. The first season was met with mixed reactions, as we talked about earlier, with several narrative choices proving somewhat contentious, not least the odd decision to give the Master Chief a lover.
The inclusion of Mackie was the dumbest fucking thing in this show. The aliens are supposed to hate humans, yet they have one in a high-ranking position. They were too cowardly to give us an alien as a POV character, and I find that extremely lame. No, it actually pisses me off. They saw the Arbiter and thought, fuck that, we're not using an alien as a POV character, nobody's going to relate to an alien. Arbiter is arguably one of the best characters in Halo, and he goes on a hell of an arc in Halo 2. But what I can say for certain, and nobody will be able to counter me on this, Arbiter went on a better arc in Halo 2, the video game, than any character did in this piece of shit TV show. I would say fight me, but I've only met one person that unironically liked this show. Why did you make Master Chief have a romance story with this horrible, horrible bitch?
As a result, Halo Season 2 will almost certainly be a change in direction. Here's everything we know so far about what's going to happen. So, we'll be seeing a lot of the same people. Schreiber and McKell.
I'm going to skip this section. They're just talking about casting. If the writing is fucking piss, like the first season, it doesn't matter who you cast.
David Weiner, who created Halo, will return as showrunner for the new season.
Oh, you mean Halo Season 1? You should clarify that. Don't besmirch Joseph Staten like that. Wait a second. I think this is a blatant fuck-up. David Weiner is producer for Season 2, but Season 1 was Stephen Kane and Kyle Killen. What the hell are you talking about?
He'll also executive produce alongside Schreiber and McKelvey for Amblin Television, along with Steven Spielberg.
I wonder how much Spielberg will be doing. I don't have much to say here. Just interesting.
Daryl Frank and Justin Falvey, Kiki Wolfkill, Frank O'Connor, and Benny Ross for 343 Industries, and Otto Bathurst and Toby Leslie for One Big Picture. Showtime produces the series. Now, onto the explanation of the Series 2 story setup.
I thought that's what you were doing, but okay. Here we go again.
The Halo Season 1 finale concluded the Mackie subplot by killing the Covenant's Blessed One during a battle on the planet of Aspero. The Spartans managed to recover the Keystones intended to lead them to the Halo ring, but at a terrible price. They were all critically wounded, and Cortana was forced to carry out her plan and assume full control of the Master Chief's body.
Yes, John Halo flatlined with his dumbass Tony Stark helmet cam, and Cortana took over, laying waste to all of the brutes. But he'll be fine, I guess?
Cortana and the Master Chief must be separated in Halo Season 2, not least because he's the only one who can activate the Keystones after Mackey's death.
Man, it was so much more interesting when all humans could interact with the Index. And when finding Halo was an accident. John Halo is the only Blessed One left now who can touch the Keystone. Super lame.
In the meantime, Dr. Catherine Halsey has eluded justice and is now going to pursue her own agenda, convinced that the enigmatic Halo rings will ensure the future of humanity's transcendence.
Dude, they downright destroyed Halsey here. She was so interesting in the games and books. She did some terrible things, yes, but she genuinely cares about these Spartans and knows how to keep them in line, which is nuts because she's just this old woman, and they're these beefy guys and gals that can run super fast and move and flip over warthogs and shit. And I love this exchange with her and Noble Team.
Your primary objective, Commander, are you a puppet or a Spartan?
Ma'am?
The dialogue in this exchange is far better than this entire season of television. She is able to put these massive super soldiers in their place, and the story that unfolds is so rewarding. Especially her epilogue about Noble Six, when he sacrifices himself to get Cortana off planet. In the show, she's just this cartoonishly evil cunt that wants to sap the humanity out of, well, humans, for the next step in evolution. I know I keep saying it, but fuck, so lame.
Halo Season 2 will also need to explain away the show's insurrectionist plotline on Madrigal, which was a big part of Season 1 but didn't even make it into the finale. But can the controversies be addressed? The Halo TV series has been highly controversial, and showrunner
Why did you include that clip? Oh man, John Halo touches a rock and tries to kill Dr. Halsey. What the fuck are you doing, show?
David Weiner will almost certainly want to rectify the course for Halo Season 2. Let's hope he'll be able to resolve the major criticisms by bringing the Master Chief's character closer to that seen in the games.
Even if they do, I just don't see how it will work. The groundwork for John Halo is fucking botched. Unless they have John Halo wake up from some crazy-ass dream and kick the real show off, all of that damage to his character still exists.
And showcasing more of the franchise's most iconic action. Teasers of major events like the fall of Reach and the revelation of the Halo ring may be enough to entice viewers to return for Halo Season 2.
I'm gonna call you an aggressive optimist, because I've seen nothing but hate for this show.
We're excited for sure.
You keep saying that. I'm getting the nagging feeling you don't really care that much.
But it's still surprising that before the video game adaptation was even released, Paramount Plus bet big on it, ensuring a second season right away.
Most shows kick off nowadays with more than a one-season commitment. Look at Rings of Power and their 5 seasons, despite having a 36% audience retention. Halo's marketing was one of the most misleading things I've ever seen in my life. Not only did they show a fully armored Master Chief in all of the trailer footage, they released their first episode for free on YouTube, with all of the Halo-ish stuff front-loaded in that episode. Yes, he takes his helmet off in that episode, and the episode was filled with problems, but they essentially baited Halo fans into subscribing to Paramount with that move. Then the rest of the show goes a completely different direction and sucks absolute ass. That style of marketing is an absolute lie and should possibly be illegal. I'm being hyperbolic here. But you are selling a product, and what they promoted wasn't actually the product you got. And with any other product, there would be a potential lawsuit. It's absolutely disgusting, but hey,
They got their month of Paramount subscribers.
I hope that quick buck was worth it. Oh wait, Paramount wants Warner Bros. To buy them. Are you telling me lying to your customers isn't a good business model?
Given Halo's long history as an establishment figure and blockbuster franchise, it appeared to be a wise move at the time, though reviews haven't been kind to the series so far.
They shouldn't be. Calling something that is downright terrible good is a lie. The honest truth is the show is a fucking piss-poor adaptation and a fucking piss-poor show by its own right. No matter what your craft is, improving at it means admitting you made a mistake. It means taking critique. If you write a bad show, it's probably good for you to hear you wrote a bad show. If you're serious about being a good writer,
Take it on the chin and try to learn something from it.
especially when the whole internet's blowing up about how terrible your show is, don't pull a Ryan Johnson and go, "Well, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with my movie."
On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 69% rating from critics, but only a 52% rating from audiences.
If I had a channel back then, I would have done a breakdown of each episode, and it would have been long and painful. It honestly deserves more hate than it got, but it kind of faded into obscurity. Still too high, but Rotten Tomatoes is shit.
The hope is that Weiner can set things right in Season 2 and deliver more of the action that has made the series a fan favorite.
You already said that. You literally just said something about more action a minute ago. I had to rewind and double check to make sure I wasn't losing my mind.
Well, we don't know about you, but we're looking forward to it.
You have said you are excited or looking forward to it so many times.
Alright, I'm going on a little bit of a side tangent here, but I do not understand why people will say that videos like this are concise because they make it 8 minutes long and it's easily digestible. But God forbid you go over 30 minutes in a YouTube video and you get labeled long. And there's always somebody that'll complain about it and say, you could have made your point a little bit faster, even if you're doing a scene-by-scene breakdown for something. This guy is not being concise. He has repeated himself multiple times.
I got a comment saying my 45-minute Ahsoka and Andor Episode 1 comparison was too long.
Who are you people?
You know that saying, a picture says 1,000 words? How about a 5-minute video? How about an entire fucking movie or TV show? If your main criticism towards a video is that it's too long, the person who made that video is most likely taking that as a compliment. But this video is vapid as fuck and it's only 8.5 minutes. Alright, side tangent over.
And we have high hopes they'll make it right.
You enjoyed Season 1, but you hope they make it right. Wait, do you like Season 1? I guess you didn't say so, but your excitement for Season 2 leads me to believe you liked Season 1. So how could that statement hold up? You can't hold two opposing positions, my friend. That's like being a flat earther and believing the earth is round. You just can't do it.
That's a wrap for this video. How do you feel about the show?
I feel like that it fucking sucked and your video is pretty bad.
Let us know in the comments below.
I can't, your comments are disabled.
Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.
I don't think I will.
We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
No problem, man. It was fun. Alright, so that's over, and I think that video was filled entirely with the safest and blandest things you can say about this abortion of a TV show. When you try so hard to say all the safe things, you end up contradicting yourself, like they did towards the end there. They want to imply the first season was good, but that season 2 needs to fix it. They said that they were excited for season 2 multiple times. One of the reasons this show angers me so much is the fact that you were handed a massive IP and all the money you could wish for to bring these games to life in TV format, and you blew it all.
You blew it! You had it all and you blew it!
It's such a massive opportunity just wasted, and so many people would kill for an opportunity like that. I know for a fact that I would make something exceptionally better than what they made. You know why? Because I would copy the fucking homework. I would have adapted the games faithfully and hired the correct people in the right places to make something fucking incredible. Something I would be happy to rewatch and show all my friends and loved ones. My wife isn't a gamer, and I would have been so fucking pumped to bring her into the Halo world via a high-budget TV show. Now, if I had to make something from scratch, I would struggle appreciably more, and I have no idea what the end product would look like. But you have the Halo games right there. You have the story that will stand the test of time better than this pile of fucking shit. $90 million and you make this? Fuck me, man. This is why I get so upset. The game developers, with less money and less time, made a story worlds better in Combat Evolved, and proceeded to make a massive story over the trilogy, a prequel and a spin-off game, with great mechanics, all accompanied by one of the best soundtracks in all of media. These devs only had about an hour of cutscenes per game to tell an amazing story, and they weren't even learned writers. You had more money and more time, and you achieved far less. Joseph Staten wasn't a writer, he was a game developer, and he did far better than you could ever hope to. Halo has deserved a well-written adaptation for many years at this point. It doesn't help that 343 hasn't been able to produce a game that's even close to the quality of the original Bungie games. The best thing they made was a collection of all the Bungie games with their shitty Halo 4 attached to it. Halo is basically on life support at this point, which absolutely blows my mind, especially given how they were like the kingpins of the gaming world during Bungie's tenure. Now, something good to look forward to, I think, is the Noble 6 Ghost of Reach animated movie. That should be pretty cool. I always liked his and the rest of Noble Team's sacrifice at the end of Halo Reach, but I always felt that there was some wiggle room for his survival. With only the trailer to go off of, I feel like it's going to be a pretty good Halo story that will actually feel like Halo, unlike the abomination of the $90 million TV series. I also really love that the animation looks like it came straight out of the video game. I find the artwork absolutely beautiful, and I'm pretty excited to watch this. So yeah, it's obvious I'm not excited for Season 2. I have no intentions of watching this, but if enough people want me to talk about Season 2, I can try to do a proper review of the show. I would only be watching it to review it at this point, which doesn't sound very fun, but I am very passionate about Halo, and could definitely grab a bottle of whiskey and find plenty of things to say. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys and gals at the next one.